Hey everyone, Dusty Monkey here. I'm here to talk about some updates to Shards Online that have just been announced. The first thing I'm going to announce is the patch notes for 0.3.2 and the lag freeze fix and cluster preparations. Now I mentioned in a previous video about how they're implementing clusters, which is the ability to travel from one server to another if it is in a group of servers. And I hope you enjoyed that. But they're basically taking this much more forward. They've I'll just read out some of this. It's mostly preparation for upcoming rollout of cluster support. So this is the 0.3.2 build. They're not fully ready, the clusters, but they're prepping for it basically. They've also added some crafting improvements. So the improvement system is now functional. You can add damage, block chance, block cooldown timers for shields, and you've also got armor. So you've got absorption, so absorbing damage, etc., and harvesting tools. So you can actually make harvesting easier from the tools. They've put in a new loading screen, which is the wormhole image, that GIF that I showed you the last time, and new fabrication recipes. So there's now bandanas, bandit hood, and mage hat. They've added mobs sometimes see cloak players, so if you're invisible, mobs can now detect you. And something of a biggie for the game, they've added a weight system. So containers have a weight restriction. This includes the weight of everything, including items in a sub-containers. So your bank has a £1,000 limit, and all other containers have 200. Coins now weigh 1 stone per 1,000 coins, rounded up. So if you have 1,000 gold, it will weigh 1. So that means you could only carry 200,000. They've also done something with the lag. Now, it's to be expected. The game's not really optimized, but there was some terrible lag. I found that as well. They've improved the lag when large number of objects comes into range at once. Fixed lag when coming into range of other players. House doors and locked door containers, chests, lockboxes are no longer pickable. Crafting now pools resources from sub-containers. So if resources were in a bag within your main backpack, then it didn't work. Now it does. Fixed pet resurrect skill. That's something I've not played around with, is the taming, but I will be taking a look at that soon. The mana cost increase from weapons and shields now calculated separately from spell buffer. Fix the mayor task to give you a relic. You now lose faction if you attack while cloaked. Super guards can now see cloaked players. Super guards will also teleport to you if they fail to path. Casting spells uncloak you. So you can't cast spells while you're cloaked. That makes sense. Fixed a bug where mobs dug up the graveyard and don't attack back. Can no longer equip items out of banks, so you have to put it on your backpack. House decay changed to 7 days for starter house and 30 for bigger houses. And can no longer resurrect greater dragon, greater demon of Co, Spider Queen, Cultist King, or Ogres. You can no longer overfill containers using crafting. So you can no longer accidentally fill your backpack with stuff you've crafted. So the other big news is they have also released their monthly newsletter, the February community newsletter, and it is full with good stuff. I mean, really good stuff. So it first starts off, as always, and rightly so, with a project lead letter. So telling us that there's a lot going on in Citadel Studios. The core team split into major areas: clusters and catacombs. Catacombs being the second map that will be available. And the new animators are working on improving the character animation, which is nice. The characters are very good, but improvements are always nice to see. And as mentioned in a previous interview, which if you want to see the interview with Derek, aka Supreme, you can hit the eye above and you will see the interview where he mentions a nice new trailer. So they're making a high quality trailer for Shards Online for when it launches at Steam. In this newsletter later on I will mention what the news is on the Steam front. The release this week lays the groundwork to connect regions, so that's your different servers. They'll be launching an experimental cluster for playtesters like myself to try out this week, which is exciting. A long way from being ready, but it feels good to finally be able to leave Celador. So, you know, although we love Celador, the first map, it's going to be good to be able to travel to a different world. Catacombs content is quickly coming together, so that's them working on the new map. It's going to be a dungeon that changes its layout randomly. This is a weird concept, so it's basically, it'll be like a maze. You know, you go in one time and it'll be completely different to the next time, which is awesome. There's 6 new clothing and armor sets, and we're going to create mobs and encounters that will populate that ever-changing lower levels. So along with this new Catacombs map, there's going to be new armor sets. If you want to see a quick snapshot, there's the new armor sets. I think you can all agree they look really good. Animators have some big improvements coming for the next build. So although I've just talked about 0.3.2, 0.3.3, they've done some improvements to their humanoid characters, and when they come out of combat, they will sheath their swords or their weapons or whatever. Then they'll have special animations based on weapons they are wielding, which is awesome. So more sort of realistic, I would guess. To top off, we have a slew of new animations, both social and combat, that will be adding to the game in the next few months. So that's awesome. They are able to bring in new animator talent and hire an outside company for Amazing Trailer because of the support. Every pledge and new upgrade we receive makes the game much better. So there'll be more information on this, but basically part of this update will include a new stretch goal that they have. So, Alpha and Steam release update. One of their promises to the community is that they will not do any major release until we feel it's ready. So, in other words, they don't want to put out a product that they know is filled and riddled with bugs. And not everything's going to be perfect when it's released, granted, but they're not going to put something out there that that they have to then write a whole list of this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, etc., etc. So that's good. Since the alpha backers have already joined playlists, because alpha backers, anyone who backed at $40, was able to get in at pre-alpha 3 rather than having to wait till alpha 1. So now they can take their time a wee bit to get alpha out, because those backers that they promised alpha to are already in the game. With that being said, as Supreme writes, we understand a few things. We underestimated a few things. Support of our 24/7 servers and cluster implementation. So that's proving a bit more difficult than they planned. However, it is coming together clearly. It's going to push alpha into spring. We also have decided to separate Alpha 1 release and our arrival on Steam Early Access by at least a few months. So, what that basically means for those of us who want to play through Steam is, although Alpha and Steam were meant to release pretty much today, they want to make sure Alpha is completely stable. They've got hundreds of people now to test Alpha, and we can really test the hell out of that. So before they release it on Steam and risk that negative feedback, they want to really make sure they've got a product to put on Steam that's going to work and not cause too much issues, which I think is really good. And it's good they're upfront about that. They're not just going to put something out there. It's not. It's about giving a product that's worthy to people, and we as alpha testers and pre-alpha testers go in with our eyes open. We know that there's going to be issues. That's the nature of testing. But it's great that they're taking their time and want to release a game that's right. In the meantime, we need you, our supporters, to keep giving feedback. So, if you are playing the game, I'd encourage you to give them feedback. I give feedback quite a lot, and they take quite a lot on board. It's amazing the ease of access to the developers that there is just by chatting to them on the forums and etc. So one of the big things, a 250k stretch goal, which just shows you how far they've come along. So it's important. I'm just going to read what the newsletter says. It's important that the game is as much fun as possible, and by the time we hit Steam later this year, one way we can do this is by making sure we have mounts. So horses, finally. Talk of horses and a timescale. So if we can hit 250k total in pledges, including our Kickstarter campaign. So they made over 100k at Kickstarter, and since then they've steadily gone up. They'll add wild horses to Celador if that is the case, and the Outland maps. Tamed horses can be equipped with saddles and armor and can be used to travel at sprint speed without losing stamina. All supporters who have pledged before, so anyone who's pledged, including myself, who's a founder. No, I'm a collector, sorry. Founder is the $40. Anyone who's done that will get a special access to an exclusive armor set for their horse on official servers. And you can see a nice wee picture of a mount just here. It looks really nice actually. And it tells you ways in which you can upgrade and pledge. And on that, if you do want to pledge, there's a link below in the description, so you can see. And you can check out the footage that I'm playing right now. It's just some old footage of pre-alpha that I've had kicking about from various events that we were playing. So there's exciting new pledge rewards. So they're adding things to make it worth upgrading. I went for the collectors, the collector's one, which is the $100, and that to me is was good. I'm not so much into the modding and server admin. I'm not that great with that stuff, so that's why I went for the collectors, and I really want the cloth map. So the Founders World, which is $75, so that's, if you guys who've pledged $40 to get in the game, that's fine, that's great to see more people getting in. If you just go that little bit more, all official servers will have a special map that only Founders supporters can travel to. So this is something they talked about, a Founders server basically, and it's basically going to be a pub club, like a bar, like a special, like a members club, and there'll be special items, potions, recipes that can not be obtained anywhere else. There'll also be a one-time quest line that involves obtaining items from over the world of Shards Online for exclusive rewards. If you are $100 plus, within the Founders World there will be a back room. Sounds like a poker room, but hey, probably not. Only available to collector's edition level, which is myself. Aside from being the coolest, most exclusive place in the universe, it also has a merchant that sells some of the items can't be found anywhere else. So again, more exclusivity. And so if you're on the $75 tier, bump yourself up to the $100 and you can get extra accesses. And then they've got the $200, which is those who do the admin, the pre-alpha admin. Once the game is live on Steam, lots of community servers will be looking for ways to get attention. Every 2 weeks they'll offer 2 people at this level the opportunity to feature a server of their choice. The feature includes a write-up on shardsonline.com, and the server will be highlighted and pinned to the top of the community server list. So that's good, it means they're going to help other servers get spotlight, and I think that's great. They've also announced that 0.3.2 is live, which means all that funky stuff I talked about at the beginning of this update is live for those who have pre-alpha access, and that's the $40 tier and above. The newsletter also includes a short interview with 2 guys who are running a community server, the Polani server. They chat to Supreme about where they're going with their server and some of the customization they've done from the original game. There's also Designer's Den. It's a look at the Catacombs configurations and how it's going to work. There's some cool pictures which you can see now. It's got the sort of layout and a picture of them fighting some fiery looking skeletons. And that little chat is from Dan Burnell. There's also news on the So You Think You Can mod competition. They've had to push that back to April because a lot more people are getting involved and a lot of people are doing mods, so it's to give them time to really get to grips with the modding and create mods that are suitable. There'll be 2 prizes for that, which will be a community choice and a developer's choice, and each winner will get $200 on a Visa gift card so they can spend it on a server or whatever they like, but preferably a server, so we have more servers to choose from. Anyway guys, that's it from an update on Shards Online. That's me talking about the two builds that are currently being talked about, 0.3.2 and 0.3.3. If you want to get involved in Shards Online, as previously mentioned, please check the link down below and you can pledge a minimum of $40 and start playing today, which is well worth it. So anyway, catch us next time guys, bye! Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed that video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.